Hey, Ramilia. Um, I couldn't do this last night. What the hell did I see out there? It was a tough night for me as well as the rest of you guys. Horrible day. Excuse me. The team didn't come out the way I thought. Yeah, Nathan, that was a horrible game, man. Okay, so let's get this out of the way first. Props to the 49ers. I hate the 49ers. Everyone knows that. As Ram fans, we hate the 49ers. It's not just because they beat us 5 times in a row, but it's just because it's an old rivalry. But the 5 times in a row, yes, they have no business beating us 5 times in a row. If they played, like I've said before, if that 49er team would play everybody else like they play us, like it's their Super Bowl, and props to them, that's what you're supposed to do with the division rival. And when your backs are against the wall, if they would play everyone else like that, they wouldn't have the horrible record that they had coming in 3-5. Injuries aside, the effort that they give versus the Rams, I congratulate them. That's what you're supposed to do. Your backs are against the wall. Meanwhile, the Rams come and lay an egg. But yeah, if they played everybody else the way they play us, they'd have a much better record despite the injuries because they get after it. Um, what do I think about Raheem and his game plan? Honestly, uh, I think he's okay. Of course, this whole game. Okay, let me just say it this way. No excuses. The 49ers came out and gave it to us. We didn't come out with fire. I blame that on Coach McVay and the other coach and the coaching staff, but we shouldn't have to get motivated to play this game. We had a chance to really put it down on the 49ers and kill their hopes for a playoff berth, and we didn't come out with fire. The 49ers were swarming around and hitting. They were physical. Yeah, Raheem could have did better. Okay, I'm glad you mentioned that because now that you're saying that, and I'm thinking how I was thinking last night. Raheem, I think he's a decent coordinator. The moving Ramsey around maybe against other teams is cool. You know how he rotates Ramsey. It'd be nice if we had two Ramseys, but Darius Williams uh, has his ups and downs. He's been injured here and there. Young guys like the Robert Rochelle's. There was a play where Robert Rochelle had their running back. I don't remember which running back it was. Um, uh, he had the angle on him and could have rolled him out of bounds, or at least forced him out of bounds, or tackled him physical. And he kind of did an Olay job and a light diving job, and he got around the corner, got the end zone. Our young secondary, uh, you know, um, uh, you know, okay. Basically, what I'm trying to say is this: on third down, who's going to get the ball? Probably. I know Debo gets the ball out, but George freaking Kittle. All right. How many times did they get on third down? Garoppolo looks to George Kittle. Okay, on the I think it was third and goal, maybe. I think it was third and goal. Uh, George Kittle gets off of the line. Nobody impedes his progress. Nobody is there to stuff him. Von Miller was coming around the corner. If we could have held for a second or two more, um, we could have probably sacked him right there, and then they have to go for a field goal. Instead, George Kittle catches a touchdown. He gets right off the line willy-nilly. Nobody impedes his progress. There's a few times on third down where stuff them at the line. Give our guys a chance to get home. Third down, I kept saying, just stop George Kittle. It was like 3rd and 6, 3rd and 8. George Kittle, somebody get their ass on George Kittle. And then Debo, somebody get physical with Debo. I was saying this before the game. And this is not the only reason why we lost, but um, that guy is a good player. This year he's got Pro Bowl numbers. He's right there with Cooper Kupp for them, despite the quarterback issues. But he's got good hands and he's a powerful guy. You have to wrap him up, hit him hard and wrap him up and get him to the ground. And that's the thing. Okay, so what you're saying, Raheem, I blame that on Raheem, that he didn't have this game plan and put it in their heads. He shouldn't have to, but it is what it is. He's the coach. To wrap these guys up and play physical, get them to the ground, especially Debo. And again, he's over there. I saw oh boy. I saw where Debo had put a big 49er a necklace on with the big 49er helmet, and they have a right. You know what? I hate to see that, but maybe that'll burn in deeper. I thought that the 4 times in a row was enough for our defense to come out with this with seeing red and some of the guys were, Aaron Don always gives his best deal. Leonard Floyd was in there. Vaughn, it was his first game, and but no excuses. They beat us. That's it. Now on the offensive side, Matt Stafford's killing me right now. I'm so glad that we still got Matt Stafford, but he was high in a couple throws. I think he was a little wound up. Um, uh, he had, I think it was Skronek in the end zone, and it was too high. There was a couple of plays where it was too high. That stuff can be fixed with mechanics. He knows better too. But it happens. You go out there and you wound up. You got guys in your face. You want to do good. But with McVay, I don't know why we didn't run the ball. The 49ers have a hard time running the ball. Hey Jared, no, they didn't cheat. They took it to us and we didn't answer. Is what I can say. Here's the things that killed me in this game. Besides the way we performed, Higbee started it off with the hands of stone. They try to throw a little screen pass on the right side to Higbee. The ball bounces off his hands and into who else? Jimmy Ward gets the interception and gets a pick six. The big mouth Jimmy Ward, who had a lot to say in the beginning of the year about Stafford, and now he gets to gloat even more. But I hated to see that he was the one that intercepted it. But Higbee you cannot have a ball, hit you in the hands and then it bounces off. And they got a touchdown right there, similar to Detroit, except this wasn't Matt Stafford's fault. The ball was hit Higbee in the hands and it bounced off his hands. And then Odell Beckham Jr., he stopped on his route. Stafford threw the ball deep, and so Odell wasn't there, and Jimmy Ward was standing there. The ball came right to him, so he had 2 gift interceptions, but props to him because he didn't drop them. But yeah, I hated to see that Jimmy Ward got those 2 interceptions, but that's what started it off. Matthew Stafford had a lot to do with it. He was high on throws. Everybody didn't. I mean, Cooper Kupp was dropping balls. There was a 3rd down play where the ball, it could have been thrown a little bit better, but he got his hands on it. Normally he takes that, he catches it and falls down. And it's a 1st down. He dropped a few balls. And then later in the game, Higbee dropped another ball. He would have had a big, on another screen pass. He would have had a big gain on that. Oh boy. I thought the Titans game was bad. This one stung me more because it's the 49ers. Anytime you lose against the 49ers. But yeah, it's amazing to me that they and this is not Jared Goff's fault. I'm sure Jared Goff has a smirk somewhere in Detroit. But yeah, we know it. We're 7-3. We're coming off of 2 horrible losses. We have the bye coming up, and we can get on board. One of the things, and this is not, no excuses. They beat us. Teams have to deal with it, what they have to deal with. But OBJ, this is the thing that sucks is, again, no excuses. But Robert Woods got hurt on Friday. The game plan was already set. Robert Woods is a huge player in our offensive scheme. He does the blocking along with Cooper Kupp. He does jet sweeps. He's an integral part in our offense. And then for him to go down Friday at practice, a couple of days before the game, and we had to redo the whole plan. And then OBJ comes in, and he doesn't know the offense is. He can run some plays, but when we started to try to get on a roll and we try to do up tempo, we had to huddle up because OBJ you need to come up, get up to speed, and so that was a big hindrance. We could have pulled out a couple of, kind of get Stafford on a roll, kind of get the offense going. But one of your main weapons now that Robert Woods is down is OBJ now, and he's not up to speed, so you can't just go up to the line. What I probably would have did is um, is just say, "Hey, OBJ, we're just gonna have you do post patterns, or give him a signal." And I'm sure they did something like that, but maybe give him 3 routes and the hand signals, what he's gonna do on that play. But uh, you know, it's just a horrible game. uh, yeah, but with Robert Woods going down on Friday before a couple days before the game, and we had to rework our whole game plan, um, was did not help. But no excuses. The 49ers are 3-5 team. They're the best 3-5 team in the NFL because they have all that talent. But like I said, they play us. It doesn't matter what the record is. And that's what they're supposed to do. That's what I would expect us to do if we had a bad record and we were playing them. I'd want us to come out like that. Unfortunately, they don't play other teams like that, or else their record wouldn't be like that. Jimmy Garoppolo gets the ball out of us for some reason against us too. We got Aaron Donald and we got these fierce pass rushers, and Jimmy Garoppolo seems to be able to get the ball out of his hand quick and right in the money. There was a few throws that it was you got to tip your hat to him, and he doesn't do that against other teams. From what I see, I don't watch the 49ers very much except for the highlights, and after they, as I see that they lost, I kind of get a smirk on my face, but I can see that he doesn't do that against other teams, or else he'd have a better record. Um, but yeah, he was comfortable in there. We couldn't get him. He was letting the ball go. It was on the money. It was either to Debo or Kittle. Um, Time after time, we'd get him to third down, and he right between our linebackers, the ball was right there, perfect. I would have loved to have our guys, if you can, get in there and knock the balls down, get in the passing lanes, put your hands up, and hey, Nathan. You know what, Nathan? You took the words right out of my mouth, brother. I don't understand. Okay, look, forget about what happened in the game. Going into the game, yes, the passing game is sexy. Yes, it does damage when you go down the field. Yes, we have OBJ. Yes, Cooper Kupp is doing great. But the 49ers, one of their Achilles heel with that defense is they can't stop the run. And the couple times that we ran in on the first drive, we abandoned the run, but we gave up points too. So it's kind of, but I thought personally that we were gonna um, have, because especially with the Robert Woods going down on Friday, a couple days before the game, that we were gonna switch it up to run heavy, multiple tight ends. That's where Johnny Mutt, it hurts not to have him. Multiple tight ends. Maybe do some packages where OBJ goes in motion in the slot and run off of that. The 49ers Achilles heel is the running game, and we didn't take advantage of that. And but then we fell behind, so we had to throw it. But still, if they can't stop the run, run the ball. They played a masterful game. In my opinion, and again, it's my opinion. Um, Kyle Shanahan is a horrible head coach. Look what he's done with that young quarterback Trey Lance. The way he's, he to me, he doesn't know how to. He doesn't know how to bring along a young quarterback. I.e., example, Mullins and the Beathards and the Hoyers and now here's Trey Lance and the guy. Here's Mac Jones and everybody else getting playing time. The Niners are 3-5 coming in, and you're telling me they can't be 3-5 with the young quarterback, but he's a horrible head coach, but he has a hell of a defensive mind, especially against us, but we need a score too. Yeah, that was the worst game I ever watched. Johnny, yes, Johnny. uh, okay, so I can't be here too long because I got to go to work, but I had to get this off my chest. Okay, so the three things that bothered me the most is number one, losing to the 49ers. Number two, seeing uh, the big mouth uh, Jimmy Ward intercept the ball twice. Beckham, OBJ. I can't even get it out. OBJ stops on, and this is because he's not with us for very long, but he stops on a long ball, and Stafford unleashes it, throwing it where he thinks he's going to be. And guess who's standing there? Jimmy Ward. He picks it off. At least he caught it. And then the ball goes off of Higbee's hands right into who's standing there? Jimmy Ward. And he goes in for a pick six. That's the guy that I hated to see them get the turnovers. And then we started dropping balls, aka the Fisher era. Higbee's dropping balls, Cooper Kupp's dropping balls, Stafford's throwing the ball too high. And then thirdly, on third down, if I was to take a poll, I know Debo is good too, but if I was to take a poll and ask you, okay, it's 3rd and 8, who do you think should we be keying in on? George freaking Kittle. Golly, at least give our guys time to get there. Jimmy G, you can tell in the middle of the game that Jimmy G's he's getting the ball out. He's getting the ball quick. It's accurate. Uh, do something to disrupt him. Get in his face. Get it because he has a tendency to have deer in the headlight eyes. If you get pressure on him, like any quarterback, they get uncomfortable. But he was comfortable and he was dealing the ball. And but on third down, at least man to man, these guys get physical with George Kittle. He's coming off of an injury. Um, uh, and give our guys time to get home. Geez, you know, Danny. No, I mean, these are a bad couple of games, man. I understand. We should have kept golf and the draft picks. No, man. We did the right thing with Stafford. Uh, Yeah, and yeah. Well, Johnny too, hey, thank you guys for coming in too, by the way. I can see, I mean, okay, let's just say this. Jared Goff, I appreciate what he did. He was okay with us. I appreciate the games that he gave us and got us to the Super Bowl. But he wasn't taking the next level, in my opinion. Everyone has a right to their opinion, but he wasn't McVay had to spoon feed him a lot. He was making the same mistakes like Stafford is right now. Uh, you know, throwing the ball inaccurate, not making plays. But it's not just Stafford though. We have guys dropping the balls now, and we're our defense because we have young guys in the secondary. Like I said, it was going to be a learning process for them. But you should know this because you know that George Kittle, that's the defensive coordinator. You put guys in positions to be successful. Stop him on third down, get in his face. But yeah, Aaron Rodgers would be great for me personally, just because of the way Aaron Rodgers is with his diva like stuff. I was glad that we got Stafford instead of Aaron Rodgers. He's a hell of a talent, though. Believe me, I know he's one of the best quarterbacks, but they didn't want. We tried to get him, and they didn't want to. They didn't want to give him to us, and now they kind of see the error of their ways. That whole COVID mess where he lied or didn't lie. They let him get away with that. So pretty much he has run of that organization. He can do what he wants because they're afraid he's going to leave. So they probably wouldn't be willing to trade Aaron Rodgers even if we had the chance to this next season. I expect them to still be there, especially if they make a playoff run. But yeah, guys, Danny, it's frustrating. You want to like, oh, geez, why do we do this? But remember, we're 7-3. Uh, Unfortunately, Robert Woods went down the Friday before this game, and again, no excuses. In the NFL, people get hurt, but I was just so surprised how we came out, especially on defense. I didn't see a huge effort. Uh, yeah, I'd rather lose to the Cowboys than the 69ers. Yeah, the 49ers, I hate losing to the 49ers. Uh, yeah, and at the very least, I thought that when we got that touchdown, we came down and it was 14-7. I thought we were gonna maybe win an ugly game. I kind of saw how the toe of the game was going. Um, with the picks with the off the hands interception pick six, and then OBJ stopping his route in between, and another interception before that. I said, "Oh, this is going to be an ugly game," and then I kind of hoped that Stafford was going to get on a roll, but you couldn't get on a roll too. Again, no excuses, but we couldn't get on a roll to help ourselves because with hurry up offense, because OBJ is the other big weapon, and he's not up to snuff. He's not up to speed yet, and so we had to use we had to huddle up a couple of times where we could just go to the line. um the Koskis and Schronek guys they're gonna have to step up, but at least we have the bye coming up. We have some time to get things together. But this is a horrible loss. No excuses. Flowers go out, and props to the 49ers. They had their back against the wall. They were like a dying animal, clawing and trying to survive, and that's what they did. And uh, yeah, the all-in mentality. Yeah, I mean, it is pressure, but it's good pressure as fans. I love. It's almost like Christmas time. Um, you're like, whoa, we got OBJ, and imagine the embarrassment of riches. Let's just say Cooper Cup, Robert Woods didn't go out with the injury, and he used the luxury. Same thing with Deshaun Jackson earlier in the year. I mean, he made some big plays for us. I know he's kicking himself now. Uh, going to Las Vegas, like because he would have got some time with Robert Woods going down, and that's why you can't say, "Hey, I'm not getting my throws selfishly." You have to, it's a team, and you never know when your number is going to be called when somebody goes down. But it's like Christmas with the all-in mentality because we want to win. We're doing what we can to win. Draft picks are not always the answer. I it's almost like Christmas time for us. We can get almost any player that we want. We got a Von Miller to and free agents want to come here, so I'm okay with that. You just got to be wise about it and how we sign him with the cap. Yeah, yeah, that's exactly what I was saying, Johnny. The Niners, that was their Super Bowl, and then watch them lose to the Jets. That's what I was saying. It's and props to them because I hate saying this. I hate giving the 49ers props at all, but they have a good roster. I mean, you got Ayuk. I love Ayuk. I love Debo. I wish he was on our team. Debo bounces off guys, but we have to wrap that guy up. He's going to get his play. Anytime you have a great player, to me, he's a borderline great player. He's showing what he can do this year, only because of the injury bug. You got to wrap him up and get physical with him. But they have a good roster. They have a lot of talent. That's a hell of a 3-5 team, even with the injuries. And but they lay an egg against other teams. For us, they get that's their Super Bowl, like you said, Johnny, and that's what I've been saying. It's very frustrating because they'll play like they did last night versus us, and they didn't give us a chance to. Well, actually, we had our opportunities, but Jimmy G didn't make a stupid turnover and do a bonehead play like he does against other teams. They didn't give us a chance to get into the game. They didn't have a stupid turnover in their own side of the field or something like that. And so, but props to them. But yeah, it's very frustrating because they play us like it's their Super Bowl, and then they lay an egg against other teams that aren't as good as we are. And but yeah, yeah, the tight end position. Yeah, it'd be nice to have a Kelsey or Gronkowski, but uh, um, before this game, Higby's been pretty good, man. Even Cooper Cup drop balls, and Higby's had some good games against the 49ers. I don't know what was going on with that. Even there was a little toss into the flat for him, and he dropped that too. That would have been a pretty big gainer, and I don't know. We need to look in the mirror though. We're still at 7-3. We could have a much better record than that, but we're still one of the tops in the league. The thing that sucks is we blew another chance, 2 straight weeks to either keep pace or gain a game against the Cardinals for the best record. And so now for sure we have to beat them head to head. We got to beat the Packers coming out of the bye. Um, but yeah, it's a tough loss. I hate that we lost this game, but I just had to speak on it. We had another bad game. There's a lot of stuff that we need to shore up. But remember, we're loaded. OBJ's here now. He's going to get up to snuff. Stafford is still here. Before this game, and he's leading the league in yards and touchdowns. He's the right guy for the job. Back-to-back bad games. He's not the only one though, too. Back-to-back games that we lost that we should have won. Or at least the 49er game for sure we should have won. But we'll be fine. We just got to get things going. Again, props to the 49ers. They did what they had to do. I just wish that they would play well, maybe I don't wish that. No, keep losing to other teams. That's fine. But we need to do what we need to do. We can't worry about them. Even if they had even with as good as they played, it was 21-7 at one point. But we couldn't get it. We could have made it before the half, 21-14, and they couldn't play any better, and would have been only up by one touchdown. We had our chances to get back in the game, and we just didn't take advantage of it. That was as good as they could play. We had 2 costly turnovers, and we couldn't stop them on third down. And if we would have scored right before the half, like I thought we had a stupid penalty on Brian Allen. And props, he's a warrior. He's playing with the jacked up elbow, but that was a dumb penalty and that hurt us. We probably would have scored a touchdown, and at the half it would have been 21-14. And after all the smoke settled, all the crap that we played, and the 49ers were up and playing hard, they would have looked up and they were only up by one touchdown. So we had our opportunities, even in this game. So, Ramilia, I'm upset about it too, but in the big picture, we're 7-3. We're never going to we could win the Super Bowl this year and we'll still remember this game. That's how we are with the 49ers. I would love to win the Super Bowl and sweep them, but that it is what it is. This is our journey right now. Robert Woods is part of our journey right now. Cam Akers not beginning the season injured is our journey this year. We just have to, get off the floor. A lot of my videos, I have a rocky introduction about, there's one of them where one of my videos where he's got that speech where he's talking about life hits you, and it's not about how hard you get hit. It's about how you move forward when you get hit, and that's the things we're going through right now. Losing to the 49ers, losing Robert Woods, losing Cam Akers before the season. That's our journey right now, and we got to get over it. Losing guys in free agencies, coming out with a young secondary. It is what it is. So, but luckily we have great boss GM and Les Snead. He gets his players to help us get us over the hump, and a Von Miller and a OBJ. So everything will be fine. Yeah, exactly, Johnny G. Even with Jeff Fisher's rounds, we'd be 7-9, 8-8, and we'd always seem to we'd always seem to beat the Seahawks or split with them. So, and remember, the 49ers, this is, I was on my brother Pale Times stream, and I was telling him, this young secondary, it's good experience. Of course, I want to win every game, especially the 49ers. I hate to lose to them, but they're learning. They're. I want our defense these young guys to get a spoonful. I didn't know. I don't know if anybody else out there heard. Did you guys hear the Beat LA chant? I was like, bring it on. You guys are coming at us. It's 21-7. Let's do this. I wanted us to come back. I wanted to hear the Beat LA chant. Beat LA, because it's LA against everybody. That's their favorite chant when they with LA teams. I'm a Dodger Laker fan too, USC football fan, and I love that chant when it comes to LA teams. Beat LA. I don't know if I heard that from. Maybe they're not used to that because they've been this, and that's the thing that sucks too is That's their first win at home. They were 0-5 or something like that. The last time that somebody the last time they won at home was against us last year. So maybe they're not used to chanting in Fort Ninerville in Santa Clara because they've been losing at home. But here we come out and play flat and we they get the win against us again. Hey Nathan, thanks for coming in, brother. Yeah, if we come out and play like the way we did against Green Bay, it's going to be a long season. We will see what our rounds are made of. Yeah, man, it's that's what it's all about, man. Yeah, horns up, brother. Uh, you know, um, People forget that this is one of the youngest team in the NFL. We have the long tooth guys. Stafford is up there. Whitworth, is up there. We're like in the. I think we were last time I checked, like one of the fifth youngest teams in the NFL, especially in our secondary, um, and some of our guys on the defensive line. So we're gonna have some growing pains, but there's no excuses. They can still play with their way they're supposed to be. Hey, what's up, Ray? Hey, Peo. Hey, brother, keep your head up, guys. Hey, Peo, keep your head up, man. I just had to come in here and get this off my chest. Um, hey, Ray, we should not worry about our defense. The Riders ran it down our throat, and yeah, they did what they did to us. What we should have did to them. We should have ran about with the ball down their throat without a Robert Woods in there. OBJ's not up to snuff, so we can't even do hurry up offense because we had to huddle up a couple of times, and maybe that could have got Stafford rolling. Stafford, the last couple of games has been a disappointment, but everybody has a bad game. But then you have guys like Cup and Higbee with that interception off of his hands, dropping balls. We need guys to make a play, and that's what the announcers were saying too on defense. We got all these studs out there, and we need to make a play. Let's stop Kittle on third down, for heaven's sake. Third down, it's 3rd and 8, and who might get the ball besides Debo? Kittle. He's running free, especially on the goal line when they had 3rd and goal. He got off the. I mean, I could do that. I'm a bigger guy, and I'm not as fast as I used to when I was a kid, but I can get off the line, turn around, and catch a football. Get in his face. He's coming off an injury. He's coming off of a bad game where he fumbled the ball. Get in his face. Get physical. Come out and get physical. I don't mind if we. Well, yes, I do. I mind if we lose, but if we were to lose, at least get physical. Make them remember that game. Get physical with that guy. That guy's doing this here with the first down. And then, of course, the big mouth Jimmy Ward had a lot to say before the season. And OBJ breaks off his route, and the ball is thrown right to him because he broke off his route. And then the ball bounces off Higsby's hands. It goes right to the big mouth Jimmy Ward. Oh, I hated to see that, man. I hated to see that. Yeah, dropped a lot of balls, Ray. Yes, sirree. Yeah, yeah, Ray. Confident about Green Bay and their defense is very good. Well, this is learning stuff. I was telling Peo on his stream that this is good experience for our young secondary. I hate that we lost, but all this stuff, these guys are learning. The one thing that I want that they should not have to learn is to be physical. When that running back comes around the corner, smash him. Don't be diving at his legs. Get in front of him, use your feet and smash the guy and ride him out of bounds. Get in his face. Don't let him hit that corner on you. Take a better angle. Those are things that you can do. But yeah, hey JB Ball, yeah, man. Kittle, he's been a round killer, George Kittle. But props to Jimmy G. Yeah, it's a tough loss, man. I always hate losing against the 49ers. I'm a Laker fan too, so I kind of put this in the case in the category of seeing my Lakers lose to the Celtics because that's another big rivalry in sports. This even if we were to win the Super Bowl, I was just saying before you guys came in, even if we were to win the Super Bowl, I'd be happy as a clam, but I would still remember this game. For me, a perfect season would be sweeping the 49ers and winning the Super Bowl. I'd take the Super Bowl win, but I would still hate that we lost to the 49ers in the season that we won the Super Bowl. But that's our journey. Our journey was losing Cam Akers in the beginning of the year. Our journey is losing Robert Woods on a Friday before a Monday night football game, and we have to rework our whole offensive scheme. Uh, this is our journey right now. We're losing guys in free agency in the secondary, having to switch defensive coordinators because everyone that coaches with McVay, that has a cup of coffee with McVay, and then we have good success, they want to take our coaches. This is our journey. Um, hey, Pale, I've noticed that Stafford has been uh, talking to his line a lot. Maybe give them much. Yeah, that's one thing about Stafford, Pale. Is Thank you, Pale. God bless you too, brother. That's one thing about Stafford is uh, he's a student of the game. He recognizes when he makes mistakes. He understands that with this team, he doesn't need to do things. He's kind of getting the bad habits out of his that he has to make a play on every down. Unfortunately, the last couple of games we've fallen behind, and we weren't able to use our full complement of offense. And then Robert Woods going down on Friday before a Monday game. But yeah, Matthew Stafford, I love him being at the helm. He's had a couple bad games, but um, he's not the only one too. But I love him being there. He's a leader. The guys love him already. So yeah, we'll be fine, guys. Ray, but about the Green Bay game, I'd be more confident if Robert Woods was there for sure, just like this game. I still thought we were going to beat the 49ers, but I was less confident without Robert Woods. I thought we were going to just maybe win by a touchdown or 10 points. I was hoping for a blowout though. Um, Yeah, JB Val. Anytime you lose, especially the 49ers, because they beat us 5 times in a row. I mean, it's hard for me to spit it out. It's hard for me to believe that. I can't believe that we haven't won a couple of games in there. But yeah, they beat us 5 times in a row, man. Later, Ray. Thank you for coming in, brother. I got to get ready for work too. I just looked at the clock. They beat us 5 times in a row. Floyd looked dejected because God bless Floyd. He's doing the best that he can. We just need to put some points on the board when we play the 49ers. When we got Stafford, I was like, oh, we're not going to let a team like the 49ers that are beating up with the Mullins beat us because we're not going to struggle to score 20 points. And here we are. But Robert Woods went down. No excuses, but Robert Woods went down Friday before the game. OBJ's not up to snuff. The 49ers came out and did their game. They wore down the clock and ran the ball down our throats. We couldn't stop them on third down. But yeah, guys, keep your heads up, guys. We're 7-3. We lost to the 49ers. It is what it is, but they're still 4-5. So whatever. Now, what record would you rather have? It is what it is. That's our journey right now. It's a learning process. I'd rather be a dominant team and whip everyone's ass, but we're not there yet. These are learning experiences. Things will get better. We have the Packers coming in. They are beatable. Aaron Donald's healthy. We have Von Miller. We just got to get after their ass now. Remember in the playoffs, we played them pretty decent. We just couldn't get any stops because Aaron Donald was on the sidelines mostly with the injury. So, hey, guys, thank you for coming in. I'm going to do more of these lives. I appreciate it. Keep the faith, brothers. We knew it wasn't going to be easy. This is our journey. Who would have thought that Robert Woods would have went down on Friday at practice, even finished practice, and then they do an MRI on him and he has a torn ACL. So, that's our journey. No excuses. We lost. A loss is a loss. If we can go out there and play, we can go out there and win. So, keep the faith, guys. Don't worry. We're still 7-3. There's a lot of football left. Anything can happen. Keep faith. And as we always say, may the RAMILIA be with you. And Ramulators, mount up. Oh, thank you guys for coming in, though. I want to just say it again and hit the alert button because I'll be doing more of these guys, okay? Appreciate it, guys. Have a good one.